The European football season started 3 weeks ago, and action has been going on. Everybody has been enjoying the football. And as we head into international break, John Ojetunde's coach, Pep Guardiola, said, and I quote, "The first 3 games, all of you want to kill yourself up." That was preseason for us.
No, the first 3 games where somebody has scored 7 goals already.
He said,
one human being.
He said, and I quote, that is preseason. The real season starts after the international break.
So they want to start.
So we've not started the season. We don't the lead. We have the highest score already. We already joined top of the league. Season never starts for our eyes. Welcome to the show, Kenny. This is John Solomon Edivre.
So for Rangers International, that game against Ekenemi is preseason.
Season never starts.
That one is for serious leagues. No, your own truth season. This is the way they fit end tomorrow. Say they know they do it. No go talk that kind of thing.
2 seasons on the bounce. The first game was played 1 week later.
I will play the other games.
No problem. It's peculiar to us. Yes. Somebody said that if they explain Nigeria to you and you understand,
you're a madman.
They don't explain how.
Exactly. So you're a madman.
So it is on that note that I want to welcome you to Sport Vibe. We have the sports, we have the vibe. Clap it up, come on. What episode is this, producer?
2-3 final.
Episode 23.
Yeah.
Episode 23. Welcome to Sports Vibe. My name is Tunde Young, Solomon Edivre, John Ojetunde, Kenny Idris here with my nearest and dearest sports journalist, and previously best friends.
Whenever you introduce me, always had the fact that I am Mr. D.
I don't.
Deeper than you think.
I don't care.
You understand me?
I'm clapping for the deepness.
I understand.
The depth.
I understand. The problem is that I don't care. What will now?
No, your case. Exactly. You don't have shame.
I'm supporting you on this one.
Anybody just support. You are not going
to they got the reason me like they make I start to be care. Because I don't want just support.
Because last we will take it to okay.
Just support is like NFF support.
I'm telling you.
Speaking of the NFF, that's where I'm starting from today. Because the last time we were here, the topic we spent the most time talking about was the potential appointment of Bruno Labbadia. And it was even confirmed. The official NFF handle put out a tweet to confirm it. NFF President Ibrahim Musa Gusau said, and I quote, that this appointment is with immediate effect. That means it's starting work immediately.
Serious alacrity.
So remember what I said about Nigeria from the beginning of the show. It is about to apply now. Because after saying all of that, can you believe that they had not finalized negotiation with the person?
It was a gentleman's agreement.
Well,
Hurricane and what's that man's name?
Hold on.
Tottenham Hotspur. Hurricane and gentleman's agreement.
Hold on.
That one is not gentleman.
The NFF announced a coach officially, introduced him to the press, to the fans, to the country, and to the whole world.
Official handles.
Using official NFF handle, it was announced on the Super Eagles handle. They even did 23 because the day after they announced it was the day after they released the squad. They released the squad.
Put his
picture in the graphic. Is that not final? Is that not argue? Is that not? You're not giving the impression that
of course that's the official one.
Only to find out 5 days later that negotiation has not been agreed upon
at all.
They don't put pen to paper.
Not pen to paper self.
This one I say gentleman agreement. Gentleman agreement has not happened.
Has not happened.
Exactly.
Because what held up the deal on Labbadia's point is that this money, we're talking about the fact that Nigeria cannot pay him. And at the end of the day, if we were wrong, we're still right. Because it is because we're not. What held up the deal was apparently that the German tax laws. Doesn't matter where you are working, you will pay your tax. You pay your tax in Germany.
Yes.
And Labbadia has looked at the small money that you want to pay and say, the man for tax in LA. There's not. So it's what held up the deal is that he wanted to get his money and then the NFF will pay the tax on his behalf. And the NFF
after the NFF, is stated in Nigerian rule, they will remove tax from that money, which is Nigerian because you work here.
Yeah. So knowing from the NFF's perspective, I'm assuming because they knew what they wanted to do is that we can owe you, but we cannot owe the German government.
If they owe you,
If that's not how you physically talk, say, hold this one month.
Inland Revenue Service, you go tell us how far.
they would have a dinner with Tinubu. That one will say, don't worry, my ministry is working on it. That will take another 3 months.
No, I don't know the Tinubu is talking about. I assume
Hold the German nation.
But it's just,
Colonialism.
it's crazy.
Absolutely. For all the nonsense that have come to get used to in this country, I did not believe that Nigeria can survive.
No, they
Like the NFF, kudos.
No,
they can raise the bar. Raise the bar.
This is a script.
No.
Actors were on point.
This one has never happened before. Can we all agree?
Yes.
At least it's when I've been watching football.
Yeah.
We have never announced somebody that have not employed before.
Yes, it has happened.
In 19,
That's why I say at least since when we have been.
From
our own
experience, I don't think I've seen. But I know if one of our own boss Ogaji come here, people don't know.
No, we have been rejected by coaches before you're going to reject.
It's
Like,
different from
having negotiations and
this one is a shock.
announcing before agreement.
Sunday, I was on a platform, huge platform in Nigeria. We broke down the issue. Now, that wasn't the painful part. There is a German media guy who is the head of a big sporting outfit in Germany that was gotten on the show because he has closeness with Bruno and he was also waxing lyrical. This is what we bring to the table. The NFL made the right choice. Everything.
Not knowing that the table never said.
I'm wondering, wait, if they call that guy back, will he answer their number?
Or the number is that is not reachable.
He will answer, will just come. It will not better for them. As they are disgraceful. God will disgrace you.
So wait, so Kenny, so this is what I'm thinking in my head. So that means this has always been the main issue. You announce before you start negotiations from the previous coaches you've had.
Has it been what they've done?
No, I'm just thinking in my head.
I think this one they were trying to announce.
So wait for General. Are we now sure? Can we say we are certain that when General was announced, before they announced General, negotiations might have not started?
No.
Or they might just give an hint on how things will go and say, okay, your salary is going to be $50,000.
Now we understand why they announced very early in the morning.
Yeah, it was 5
5
a.m. It was 5 a.m.
Yes.
Maybe they were hoping that Labadia will not see it. And that's what I'm saying. You go down coach like the first 2 matches before you know.
Olajire was sleeping. As they sleep, Olajire was not sleeping. He was working on the deal, just like Fabrizio.
No, but
Here we go.
You captured it right. Like, in all sincerity, in all fairness, to the NFF, like, now, no jokes. None of us thought they could shock us like this.
This is a new
Before
low.
we've seen it all.
This is a new low.
No, somebody
they raised the
should go and
bar
learn
for
how
them.
to write
When
scripts.
they heard that song, let me see you. Let me see you.
Go is for
I
your
swear.
NFF.
NFF Bugawa.
No. This is what they call the finished work.
No, kudos.
It's super.
We have been bamboozled, winked, run amok.
And now, so in the process, questions are being asked by the public. The public is demanding for answers. Nobody's giving us.
It is embarrassing.
Heads are not rolling as a result of this.
That's why
That's
the last thing that will happen
obviously,
now.
which has always been the thing over the years. And we're going to continue like this. Kenny, the next manager they are going to announce, obviously, I think from what you've heard now, Iguavoin is
stepping in.
Iguavoin is stepping in.
with his
Except he too will come and say that nobody
with
told
his
him.
2 assistants, Ijabol and what's
Daniel Ogumodede of Bremen Stars.
Fidel
Ijabol and
International.
the 2 new assistant coaches.
They
Who
told
themselves,
them in the morning.
who themselves were announced most likely against their will, but they were announced days before the actual first game against
you don't understand. They
against,
were
what's the first game? Benin Republic.
very public.
No, what
You
they
are not
Within the
getting
week.
it.
they
You
called
are not
them.
getting it.
They told them the morning of that day that they should resume camp that day.
That day. Now you get it.
That's not. I knew that. That's what I'm saying. Like they probably announced it. Then they were not trying to call. I mean, who appointed me? maybe that's why.
I mean,
so okay, now we just come, find your way, come.
So we now eventually went back to
Local coach.
what we were running away from,
Yes.
or what
But it was-
what they
we're
felt,
not running away from
not running, what they felt was not sufficient for the kind of brand they want for the Super Eagles. which
What
is-
brand is this?
no, the Super Eagles is a bigger brand, my brother.
No, please let's even stop saying this thing for now.
Our jersey
For them, that's
Our
for
jersey
them.
is fine.
For
The
them.
amount of Solomon, how embarrassing is it? Even from a perspective of a Nigerian, I am ashamed
No.
that I am in a
In
country.
this situation, embarrassment is embarrassing.
Embarrassment later, people felt.
Embarrass.
Am I not the embarrassment? You are not embarrassed.
èyí tẹ̀ ṣe yìí.
Ó pọ̀.
Ele ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó.
We announced somebody that did not agree with us. It's similar to a few of us here that might have collect room without agreeing personal terms.
I have
Let's
issue.
go
Let's end the show.
Let's go
Let's
home.
end the show.
On
This is
this show.
Kenny.
Don't touch me.
I have an issue with this
Don't
guy.
touch me.
I have an issue with this guy.
If you want to surface the
You have already-
Why are you bringing things out?
And you don't bring anything. You have already progressed to go and be negotiating with the hotel or the resort. Meanwhile, you never sort out personal terms. So when hotel come agree,
No,
personal terms come break
they have
down.
not sorted out the even passcode.
Personal terms break down, hotel agree.
I remember one of us here one time 2-3 years ago. Hello Ibolowa. Mo ní lóní ẹ látàárọ̀. Ibolowa. Mo ti gbé salad line yẹn. Mo pẹ̀ wá torí mi sìn.
I want to add that this thing to the.
Let's end the
I want
show.
to add it to the Nigeria dictionary. You know that if somebody promises that you are coming and they not coming, the word for that one is amaka.
Yes.
But if it is you yourself that is expecting someone that did not tell you that they are coming, that's labadia. So you have been labadiad. Or you have, let's use it in a sentence, you have labadiad yourself.
All of you face the camera. And right now, say a new slang created on Sport Vibes.
Yeah,
A new slang
Yes.
dated as sport
Definition according to Sport Vibes Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
Lambadia.
Labadia meaning to have false expectations
Yes.
that are not rewarded
Yes.
in the long run.
No, it was not
The present
represented.
continuous
Mm.
tense of labadia
Eh.
is labadiafying, aka used in a sentence. Solomon has been known to
Why so-
labadiafy
Why is Solomon? Why is this Solomon?
Complete your sentence.
from time to time.
Which that particular setup is called Labadiaism.
Or labadiacalization. Look, we have done.
Usually from the opposite sex.
No man know why we want to finish this show. No, I'm not even talking about women. You see that? No, you are just people just it just carry no hand and with handcuff. Nobody asks you anything.
Do you know the funniest thing? The handcuff, one handcuff, they found a way to use it to handcuff his hand is there.
Now you even come meet us say this handcuff no tight well. Handcuff you size me now. They are size me even.
See, guys, let me tell you, on Sport Vibe, we have decided something. It might seem like we're laughing, discussing serious matter, but we have decided that Nigeria
We're not gonna
will
not
not
get
give us
to us.
headache.
No.
will not give us heartache.
No.
Likewise, we have decided that will help you not to have heartache or headache. Nigeria matter is a matter to say, why did they do like that? And then you be like,
They have done it again.
If you don't want to cry.
that's the case of
That's
Nigeria.
that boy.
Oh,
guys,
honestly, because of that, if you don't laugh, you will
See,
cry.
I've
If you think about
I've
it too
said
much,
it,
you will be
I've said
embarrassed.
it.
Exactly.
As
I've
a
said it on
Nigerian.
different platforms. Why do we have setups who are liars? Now, to be a liar to other people, it is way better
That to even be
That to be a liar to yourself.
Yeah.
Tunde, Solomon, John, you all can agree with me today that the NFF cannot afford Labadia.
They can't
We said
even.
it
They
on the
can't
show
even.
last
We
time.
said it
You
here.
see this?
Not
That
once.
tax
They
they
can't.
are
They
paying. Even
can't
that salary
afford
will
to pay
still cost
attention.
issue.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He's painting the exact picture that
That's
they
what
know
I'm
that
saying.
this one is
When the NFF want to employ you, the plan is to pay the first two,
Those
3
3
months
months, yeah.
so that you will be comfortable. But when they not pay for the next 6 months, then they will not pay you 1 month after that. That's what it.
But yeah, you can't tell your matter to anybody.
No,
I
but
don't
then you'll be having vision of playing at the Nations Cup.
The NFF,
Walk off.
the NFF don't pay you what's your contract. They pay you enough to survive. That's why they always insist that their coaches must live in Nigeria. Things that they want to be patriotic. They know that money cannot do anything for you in your country. No, they say owe me $60,000. Even though you just 1 month salary inside the last 6 months. But in Nigeria, you go born with $60,000.
Yeah.
Just take am, no worry. They go, if you like babes, they will import babes for you. They did it with some of the last man. Solomon is aware.
I even think one of the
I saw one of them.
I think one of the
Let's
reasons
stay there.
General lasted, in the Nigerian job is because he seems to be very familiar with the African terrain.
General is a Nigerian man.
All the shenanigans that you can imagine.
Come,
He's
don't you always see those general shirts?
Don't
Those shirts are they not from Yaba?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you that Ben and
Guys, Solomon, General is one of the first people that is not Nigerian to understand that in Nigeria there are different modes of payment.
Yes.
It's not every payment that is in cash. General was getting paid.
He was always open.
He was getting paid. The payment was not in his contract. He was being paid handsomely. The day that they signed was one of the saddest day of his life.
That's why Benin Republic he wants us to meet every day. The pain you have put in my heart will continue to cry.
Even if there is no any money, I know wetin Nigeria.
It's sad. It's sad how you think a situation is dire, and then you see
the pain was I was excited about it. I was really
what is
excited
exciting about that? We literally this is a lose-lose situation. There was
excited he was coming on board.
That's the one is there to be excited about. We already spoke about the last episode. There is nothing that Labadia is coming to do that I have not seen before. It's just same of the same.
But guys, before we move away from the now that we have Augustine Eguavoin and the two assistants you mentioned, Ogumodede and Fidelis Lechukwu, do you think that maybe this could be the start of a new beginning for our local coaches? I mean, we've not actually had these two guys on board because the team the two coaches doing well in the NPFL at the moment. So maybe if this brings some kind of short-term success, maybe the NFF can begin to consider whether
that's actually a great question. But my response to that is another question to you, John, is that how much influence or impact do assistant coaches or
that's what I was going to
ever had? Have ever had
zero impact.
So
now,
there's no
follow-up question. How do you think international coaches impacting in this kind of short period? How do you think any coach?
We let our last manager go after just 4 games, 2 competitive games, 2 friendly games.
We let our last manager go after the announcement.
Because now with Eguavoin now. We don't no contract.
Go after they announce. Immediately announced.
Oh, that was Labadia is our last coach.
No, because he's not signed anything. Why you deceive yourself?
Come on.
Why you deceive yourself?
Go and check his CV. They put Nigeria there.
Look at this team list. That's this team list they are looking at. Who is
the coach there?
Anybody can. Okay, once I leave here now, I'll go do graphics of myself.
It's NFL that did this.
No problem.
Are you certified from NFF? NFF did this one. This one you are looking at. Let me tell Bruno Labadia. You will see us in court. If you don't coach us in this Benin game, you are the coach that we have.
So what is stopping NFF from doing another graphics to Pep Guardiola and say this is our coach? What will happen?
Because Bruno Labadia, he will enter serious case. So he did not deny that when he saw that list. Why did you put my face there? The man was saying,
How do you know you saw the list? Person that was not even following your account. He just they follow that talk, you know, announce.
Bruno, I'm not even
Please.
No, let me talk this one.
Okay,
I'm not even playing.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno, please. You won't coach the Rwanda game. Just come do this better.
Let us. Wait, Bruno is like the answer for things.
She won't be showing major.
They ask Bruno for things like say they send
Leave this man alone.
Bruno, give us tactics testing.
Bruno, George.
But now, Augustine.
Yeah. Start
Augustine, they don't even have the contract.
No, they don't have a allowance. So
how do you know?
Eguavoen is the technical director of the NFF.
Yeah.
He has a job, he has a salary.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about the assistant. They don't have a contract. They've told them, come.
Solomon Edive, look into the camera now. Tell us your source.
I'm on a platform where there are a lot of top sport journalists in Nigeria and also editors when it comes to newspaper. And they made the declaration that, in fact, he was right. The assistants were called in the morning and they were told to arrive in camp, and they made it clear to them, this is not an employment that will be paid salary. You come for matches, we pay you allowance for the matches you are there for.
So was there agreement on the allowance?
They didn't even agree on the
Oh,
allowance.
the
amount.
NFF
The NFF will now, after the match, this is your allowance and you go. There's no, what it means is that the next game, if Eguavoen is still in charge, they might decide to call other assistants.
It might be Solomon.
It might even be me. I'll quickly take it. Just call them on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, exclusive. You heard it here first.
Eh? You heard it from Solomon.
And that's what I'm saying. You are not able
Don't
to
use here.
Okay, you heard it from this couch first. This particular couch.
Is it the couch that's no,
no. I want it to be that so that when they arrest you, you will see that in prison. You will carry it ahead and we go to jail.
Before we leave the Eguavoen matter, I just want to tell every Nigerian out there, expect nothing. Just watch your Super Eagles. So don't say Eguavoen stand up. I'm expecting him to win 2 games. Expect nothing. It's as simple as that.
All right. Simple as that. Let's move on to. I'm tired of talking about Super Eagles, but we don't have a choice. Victor Osimhen is up next, and yeah, that's the point. That's the point. And the summer has not gone exactly to plan for whatsoever. I mean, at the start of the summer, I think it was not a secret that everybody expected that Osimhen would have made a big move by now. But even on transfer deadline, the Osimhen was the biggest story of the day, and everybody was wondering where it would end up. Chelsea or Al-Ahly of Saudi Arabia. We heard from the start of that Friday morning that Al-Ahly agreed a deal with Napoli for 80 million euros transfer fee, and they were going to pay Osimhen 120 million euros over 4 years.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's 30 million a year.
Wow.
Tax free because it's Saudi.
It's Saudi, meaning it's running close like
yes.
Wow.
And that offer never came to fruition because apparently, according to reports, I'm trying to give a timeline of the entire situation here. According to reports, after the deal had been agreed between Al-Ahly and Napoli went back and asked Al-Ahly for more money. So they just pulled out and focused all their efforts.
Extra 5 million.
Focus all their efforts on Ivan Toney. Yeah. And this is the same Napoli that had insisted on 120 million meet the release clause or nothing from the start of the window, which is why PSG pulled out to the first, even though PSG had an agreement with Osimhen personally. They already agreed.
They both wanted
personal terms. It was just reach an agreement with the club. And PSG even offered more than the 80 million that Napoli ended up accepting on the deadline day, but Napoli rejected it because again, this is a game of leverage. At that time, but the deadline day is not a case of we have to sell this guy. We'll just take him. So like PSG did not come back in with another offer. So it was a case of Al-Ahly or Chelsea. Al-Ahly gave up, leaving Chelsea as the only viable option. And I don't know if it's the case of the Chelsea. Most likely Chelsea were limited by the PSR, that's Premier League Sustainability Rules, FFP. They could not offer the wages that Osimhen, because you would expect that when Osimhen leaves Napoli to Chelsea, his salary would even increase.
Yeah.
But this increase was not even the matter. Osimhen earns 12 million a year, reported 12 million a year at Napoli, which is around
between 11 plus million.
Yeah, so which is around 220, 230k euros. Reportedly, Chelsea offered him a basic salary of 4 million a year, with an opportunity to make 4 million more in bonuses, and then 4 million more if they qualify for the Champions League. So basically, you will still make the same salary, but you have to, it's not sure for you again.
Basic summary was Osimhen is most likely never going to play for Napoli. The relationship completely broken down. He believes that the club's behind him to move, and from the club's perspective too, we have moved on from you. And the only saving grace that salvaged Osimhen's situation from sitting out the entire first half of the season was that the Turkish transfer window is 3 days longer than the rest of the world. So Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and some parts of Asia, 3 days longer. So Galatasaray agreed a loan deal for Victor Osimhen. But even for that loan deal to be agreed, Napoli made sure that Osimhen extended his contract again for an additional year, so that 1 year that he could potentially go on loan, they will not lose it. So even if because if he had gone on loan, he would have had 1 year left. So they extend. So even with that 1 year loan, if he comes back, you will still be 2 years. So they will still be able to ask for more money. Galatasaray are paying, I think, about according to Fabrizio, between 9 to 10 million of the salary. Napoli covers the rest. So the player does not lose anything financially. He plays for the Turkish league champions.
One of the big clubs in Turkey.
And apparently, there's a clause that could allow him leave in January if a club comes in
big clubs,
with an offer 75. I think 75 million, 80 million. 75. Okay, first. So with that, the only reason I went through this complete breakdown is obviously I know that you are familiar with it, but if there's anybody out there that is not familiar with the true story. So now, what I need from each of our 3 top journalists is your opinions on whose fault is this. 1, is it Osimhen for not taking a pay cut and going to Chelsea? 2, is it Napoli for lowballing the player, blocking his path, stifling and basically frustrating his efforts to, while not making it easy for him to move away from the club? Is it his agent? Is it Chelsea themselves that did not take their search for a striker seriously? Who is at fault here, from right to left?
Okay, for me, it has to be Napoli. Napoli, in the sense that they dragged it for too long. This would have been resolved way early, before the transfer window even gets to halfway. Before the season itself actually started, it would have been resolved. So I think it's Napoli. Napoli knew the reason they gave him that new contract, that big payday. They knew exactly why they did that, because they needed more money when the transfer comes, and they wanted to milk it to the end, but eventually they got nothing for it. So personally, I think it's Napoli. Napoli were just dirty dealers in the business.
Aurelio De Laurentiis is known to be a very tough guy, a man in the mode of Danny Levy, who if he doesn't get what he wants from a player, he's likely going to stifle you, and at the end of the day, the player gets frustrated, and the club feels that if I'm not going to make more money from you or make any money from you, you are also going to lose. We as the club will keep running, will make money from other players, but you the player, might be the one to suffer from this. So for Laurentiis, when this whole saga began, I knew that we're dealing with a very tough guy here, and I know that it's not going to bend. So some persons also believe, which to an extent I think I share, that the agent of Osimhen, I think they didn't also bring in their A game, in this transfer window. I feel that if you're dealing with a player who was the highest goal scorer, for Italian Serie A, who won the Italian Serie A with Napoli, after 33 years, a player who was, the most valuable player in the Italian Serie A, gave everything for Napoli. I said, because some persons wanted to use this as a point of racism, but I don't want to go there. I just want to feel like if Osimhen was not, or he's not in Nigeria, or he's not black, I think that this transfer would probably have gone this way. That's my personal feeling. I feel Osimhen is actually probably an Italian, or maybe it's from another continent. Maybe this transfer market wouldn't have probably dragged itself this long. So I think the agents themselves, I think if probably they would have brought their A game, I think that this wouldn't have happened. I also want to blame the agents, for not probably thinking this thing through with some of the decisions they took. The Saudi Arabia deal, in fact, what I read was that the agents and Osimhen at the point in time they considered the Saudi deal, but the agents having to convince Napoli themselves seems to be an issue for me.
Okay, so for me in this case, it's not hard. It's straight to the table of Victor Osimhen, and that's simple. I think they started the wrong footing from the contract extension. As for when Victor was renewing that contract, Victor knows he wanted to go. You've already seen a pattern, and you know how the president can be getting. I think Victor Osimhen and his team did not really handle things right from there. Then let's come to this window. I think it was simple. You see top players do it. I can remember the story of Ashavin and Arsenal. At the point, he had to bring money out from his own pocket to add up to whatever Arsenal have got. I just want to leave. Chelsea is a big club. I don't care what's happening to Chelsea right now. It's a big club in Europe, not just in England. Take a pay cut. Trust me, all of this pay cut, SAGA and all of that will take one season thereabout, even if it takes 2 seasons. Because the moment Victor kicks ball at Chelsea, the moment Victor scores 10 goals at Chelsea, all of the narration changes. Everybody wants to make him the apple of their eyes. And how do you make a player very happy? It's for you to add more to his money, pay him more. And I think that is what should have happened. And I keep saying, I don't think it's his agent who said, no, we're not taking pay cut. I think it's solely Victor's decision, because I feel they work for him. They can advise him, but at the end of the day, if a player sticks to, this is what I want, I think they will all watch and they will all bend to what he wants. So I'll say Victor, thank God the Galatasaray rescue came. I'm looking at if it did not happen. So I've heard somebody say, come to Nigeria, come and be playing there. You can sign 6-month contract. We would have them like this. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, in and around. So I felt Victor, that Chelsea, yes, they are paying half the money or lower than, take that pay cut and come. But thank God, there was a rescue mission. Go play football again. Show to the world what you can do, and you return to the big stage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if ever everybody's thoughts on Victor Osimhen's situation, me personally, I don't have one particular person to blame. In fact, I'm not even blaming anybody, even from Napoli's perspective, it was business. I don't know what happened that now made it turn personal. There was a point where it became personal on the transfer deadline day, because John made the comparison between De Laurentiis and Daniel Levy, which is true for the most part, except for the fact that with Daniel Levy, it is never personal. If Daniel Levy is keeping you, it's either one of two things. He wants more money, or he needs you to impact his team. We saw Napoli turn down Al-Akhli's 80 million and then also refuse to register Osimhen. So meaning De Laurentiis was willing to lose money, which makes me know that maybe there was something else that happened.
Because I can remember
for them to have requested extra 5 million after Ibrahim now went back again, now requested for extra 5 million euros. That means something is fishy about you.
No, I can even remember. I think it was either on this podcast or on sports Prime Sport, where you said that Victor Osimhen will eventually play for Napoli if he doesn't move. That he's a good player. He's too good to play. But with that move, to leave him out there, to leave him out and watch him just rot on the bench.
And that's the part that I could not have predicted, because I thought worst case scenario it will become this is still our prime asset. It's still the most expensive player in Napoli history. It's still the top scorer in their first title winning season in 33 years. And according to multiple reports, is the highest earning player in Napoli history. I don't know how true that is, but he's a player that has a huge connection to the club. I didn't think so. Whatever happened between them that led to the relationship breaking down this much must have been really deep and really serious.
Tunde, Mikel Obi, in one of his podcasts, he said that when he had issues with Conte at the time, Conte told him, if you go to the Olympics, if you return, just know that you're out of the team. And at that time, Chelsea even had the Kante, who obviously was on top of his game at the time. He said when he went to the Olympics, came back, at the point Chelsea were not doing too well. Then Conte called him to his office and said, "Guy, you know that I understand that things have not been too good between us, but the team is also doing badly. I think we need you now, to at least bring your experience and ensure that at least we get back to winning ways." Mikel gladly told him, even with respect, that manager, don't worry, because he sent Mikel to train with the under 23s. Mikel was ousted from the first team. So Conte is not even if Napoli had decided that we don't want these guys in our team, I'm sure that a larger chunk of that decision was 95% supported by Antonio Conte.
That is what Tunde tried to counter. That he doesn't care what Conte. That's De Laurentiis. He doesn't care what Conte feels. This is our most prized asset.
Yeah, that's why I disagree with you. For De Laurentiis, because at the end of the day, no matter how crazy Conte wants to be, Conte will make that decision at Chelsea because the owners allowed you. Because at the end of the day, that's Mikel in his latter years.
Yes.
He was not a
was winding down.
This is for Napoli, like I said, they spent 70 million on this guy in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes.
So De Laurentiis' idea is generally Napoli's idea, they always want to make profit of it. So for De Laurentiis to agree with Conte, no matter how crazy Conte is, it's the owner of the club that employs him. If he tells him, guy, find a way to use this guy, so at least let him generate interest and leave by January because I don't want to lose my money. Conte would have no choice that to do, but for De Laurentiis,
and Victor will perform.
Yeah, for De Laurentiis to completely remove his hand and say, Conte, do whatever you want, it must have gotten
so bad.
Personal.
Let me read this from Fabrizio Zando, Napoli director, Mana. He said, Osimhen decided not to play for our club anymore last year. We tried to help. So there was negotiation, but the deal didn't happen. The plan on both sides remained to part ways, but I do not think he will go to Saudi this summer. That was when the whole Saudi thing was brought,
maybe I will not read too much into that because that.
Of course, what do you expect from
But yeah, so who is to blame? I don't know, to be honest.
You know why this can be helped? Because Conte said the moment he came, one of the first things he was told is not in the plan.
Yeah, because everybody expected him to leave. So that's basically telling him, don't plan with this guy. We want to sell him. He wants to leave. We want to sell him.
But how the relationship deteriorated?
I think the relationship had deteriorated.
Yes, over time. Even between the player and the club. Because you specifically mentioned at the time where this TikTok caricature, this TikTok video that did caricature. At that time, that was when I personally knew that something is actually wrong.
Osimhen during that period took down some pictures of.
Yes, I knew that.
Shortly after that, he extended his contract. And to your point of him extending his contract, here is why I find it hard to blame anybody. I just think that this is an unfortunate situation, to be honest. The reason for extending his contract is clear. By the time he extended our contract, he was on the salary he joined with the 2020, which, according to multiple reports, was around 75k. There is no way you leave Napoli on that salary and go and negotiate for 200 plus 300 with a new club. It is not good.
I agree.
So it was necessary. First of all, from his own perspective, this is my new level. This 230k. This is my whatever you want to. Bad as it bad. If you are not increasing, you will give me the same thing. On this level, I'm on this level now. That's the significance of that extension. And the number two also, from the club's perspective as well, is the case of if he had not extended, he would have only had 1 year left. It will be easier for him to leave, but it will also be like hard for the club because they will not be able to get good money. So maybe at the time that I signed, they were on good terms. So I want the club to make good money. While me myself, I make good money. So at the time, it looked like a win-win.
But do you know that he can still cut a contract of 200 plus salary? Whether Napoli
it could be the Saudis.
It cannot.
Because look at the issue of PSR. Look at the issue.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying it's significantly harder to negotiate.
It's
It's harder to negotiate up with a new club.
If Victor Osimhen were to go for somewhat cheaper without all of this trouble, and a club is telling a club that okay, you will go for, and they look at the asking price, okay, this is affordable, and me, I'm negotiating 200 plus. I think it was so hard for clubs to go with the high amounts that Napoli is asking to collect, and also the salary.
But Kenny, this is not something that. First of all, personally, I don't think that 230k is a lot for a player of Osimhen's level.
That's what I'm saying.
It is not. So me personally, I don't have anybody to blame except for terrible luck. I will not blame the club for wanting to max out on the most amount of money they can get from this club.
But they didn't
because
do it right,
yeah, they went with what many people consider the wrong tactics. But again, I'm choosing to look at it from the perspective of if I'm a club owner that paid 70 million pounds as Napoli, not a big club, not a club known for spending that much. I paid 70 million pounds in the middle of a pandemic. It is because I really, really believe in you. And yes, you have repaid my belief by bringing us this league title. But 4 years down the line, I want to make significant profit on that.
When you're even bigger.
Yeah, 4 years down the line, I want to make significant profit on that 70 million. Look at Real Madrid signed Cristiano for 90 million in 2009. He gave them 9 years of some of the best football that we have ever seen in this life, and they sold him for 100 million after. So like that's how these clubs do this. It's a case of you have done all this fine, but I still want to make this money. So if anything, I'll blame bad luck, because again, I've mentioned this before. Osimhen is just unfortunate to now want to leave when there's not really that much demand for strikers. The top teams that need strikers, you can count them on one hand, and even on that one hand, it's probably Chelsea, Arsenal. That you can say need strikers, and Barcelona. Barcelona, we know that they cannot afford the kind of coke right now. Chelsea, we saw what happened with Chelsea. Arsenal don't need a striker badly enough to pay all of that. So Arsenal believe that we are still fine with our setup. Our team is good. So if it was in summer before, when Colomani went to PSG for Colomani is like the 7th most expensive player in football. People don't realize that they signed him for 110 million after one decent, not even great, one decent season in entire platform. So like he went for 110 million after one decent season in entire platform, 110.
And that's why his level is showing now at PSG.
Gonzalo Ramos was also signed in that same summer for around 90 million. What's his name? Harry Kane went to Bayern Munich for 100 million.
Nicholas Jackson.
Chelsea at least even in a striker at that point too. So it's a case of if it was that summer, Osimhen decided that okay, I'm leaving. If you don't, maybe.
But Osimhen would have left after the league winning season. A lot of people felt that was the best time.
Yeah, maybe he's a victim of his own loyalty.
Yes.
That league winning season after, that's when the stock was highest.
A lot of things happened. The abuse, the disrespect, he started flushing it. The racial abuses, even from fans.
In fact, the season after is when we are talking about this current Alakli offer. Is when he reportedly received one of the craziest offers.
Yes.
Al Hilal, the Saudi club, the club that Neymar is signed to. Before they now went on to sign, Alexander Mitrovic of Fulham. Were on Osimhen's neck with a reported offer of 1 million, and he turned it down because. A lot of people, some people say take it, some people say you are the peak of the past. Why you go to Saudi Arabia where you can actually play for top clubs?
And that's what Brownie Day was advising him.
So
for 2 years.
So that's why I blame it on circumstance. I can't pinpoint one single person. Everybody in this case was trying to protect their own
interest. I get it.
Osimhen's perspective as well was he did not anticipate that by the time he's now ready to leave, clubs do not need striker like that. That's just the main reason he has not left. The clubs that need striker cannot afford him. The clubs that can afford him don't really need striker like that. PSG them are coming for him. It's not like they need a striker. They just want him because you are better than our strikers. But we have just paid 200 million to sign these two guys, even though they are not performing, but we still have them. So we don't need to pay 100 million to sign you as well.
Look at what Bakola is doing.
So like it's just an unfortunate situation to be in. So I don't think that necessarily any one person is at fault. Everybody has their own fault individually in terms of their situations where they could have handled better. From the club's perspective, you could have looked out for Osimhen better. From Osimhen's perspective,
take a pick up
me personally, I will never advise anybody to take a pick up. I will not do it. I will not leave my job to go to another job and go and take less money. I will never. That pay cut is the only thing that
you are expected to step up. So if you're leaving a job,
that is
a demand. No, even that general, there's a demand for your skill.
No, this situation is coming as a not natural situation.
We're talking about more than half.
100.
More than half. You should give up more. Yeah. Basic salary that was offered was 4 million. He earns 12 million basic at Napoli. So basically, only 4 million is guaranteed, and then you will now earn the rest based on bonuses and performance related. So basically, if you reach us, you get it just for the entire season now. It's your 4 million. When you could have stayed at Napoli and collect your 12 million. So
why I said circumstance was at that period, it was obvious both of them need to part ways. And he had always expressed his love for Chelsea, which I felt is a big club. You love the club and all of that.
There's no loyalty in all of this.
It's
about
when you score
interest.
No, I'm not saying loyalty and interest and all of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying of the lot. The moment PSG stopped talking about it, because he wanted PSG. But the moment PSG never came back.
Yeah, because they realized that Napoli were not we're not budging.
At the period, even I was saying at the end of the day, whether it's deadline day, he will go to Chelsea. All because he needed to leave. Now we are having this discussion. What if Galatasaray never came?
And the worst that will happen is he will see that Napoli will not play in January 4 months and someone else will come. Because why would especially if you look at it from a Nigerian perspective, he's a 25-year-old Nigerian. No, I don't want to imply anything, but he's a 25-year-old Nigerian, whatever that means to you, playing football. This is most likely going to be his last big contract.
Yeah.
Because whatever he signs is going to be 4 or 5 years minimum. So nobody is going to give a 30-year-old Nigerian a lot of money.
He's still balling.
How many have we seen?
Papillo.
No problem. Which Papillo?
The king.
I know one day you
King of waiting. King of waiting. Anyway, so that's another thing. You heard everybody say on Victor Osimhen, and he joins Galatasaray on loan. Me personally, here's what I think will happen. And you are hearing it here, but I'm giving you exclusive here today. This is what I think will happen. I think that in January, Arsenal realized their mistake of not signing an actual striker.
I feel Arsenal made a mistake for not signing an actual.
They will realize it in January when the title race is still close. Yeah. And I think that they will remedy it by making, Arsenal are used to making just, instead of scattering that money around several players, let's sign that one big player and Boju. I think that a 75 million transfer makes sense from an Arsenal perspective. I don't think that a 250k wage is going to be a problem for Arsenal either. I think it makes too much sense.
And we
especially if he hits the ground running in Turkey, performs well in Galatasaray.
There are good players in Galatasaray. He's going to do well.
Yeah, Galatasaray finished won the league last season with 102 points.
So
and even the second was over 90.
And they were playing in the Europa League, so they are a good team. And he doesn't even have much in terms of competition as a centre forward. Michi Batshuayi and Mario Icardi are the two centre forwards.
Yeah.
Icardi is pretty much finished. Batshuayi has never even started, let alone to finish. So
no, Batshuayi never was a footballer.
So basically, Osimhen will be the starting striker uninhibited. So I think this is my own. I don't have links to Osimhen. Nobody told me anything. I'm just projecting. I think that Arsenal will sign him unopposed in January for 75 million because it makes so much sense. And he will give them the needed injection into their title race. Yeah. That's what I think that will happen. But let's wait and see. For now, in the present, he's a Galatasaray player, and he becomes the 6th Nigerian to play for Galatasaray. Clap it up because we are about to segue into the trivia.
Okay, let's go.
Who are the 5 other Nigerians to play for Galatasaray?
Because I wonder.
And this is the 4th consecutive week we're not happy with you. We're bring your Netflix.
Oh yeah, wait.
Julius, I got one that.
Okay. Let me be fair.
Yeah.
I know that if I look at this, as I'm looking at this list, there is a high chance that at least 2 of them nobody can even get it because you don't even. There are players that you don't even.
JJ Okocha.
No, come on.
JJ Okocha.
So when are we ready to start answering now? We are running up the show with it. When are we ready to start? Who are the 5 other Nigerians before Osimhen to have represented Galatasaray?
Give us a clue.
No.
This one
Wrong.
Well, you say give us a clue.
Yeah, just
A clue to what?
I can give clues.
The person was tall and fat.
No. The position where
What's that man saying that played?
if he's
there's a midfielder here that
Shitu.
there's a midfielder here that once played for Warri Wolves.
Obuabona.
Peter Etebo.
table.
Obuabona.
Who is surprisingly still very young. Anyway,
Don't do that.
yeah, he's not Etebo never reached 30.
Etebo is not sexy.
Oh.
Etebo played the Olympics as 18-year-old.
Yeah, Etebo is 28. After a long and successful career with Warri Wolves. That one was a full career of the sort.
Musa
was 18 when he was balling for
highest goal scorer.
At least. The difference is that Musa can say, I was literally just here for 1 season and it is true. It's not like, but like, Etebo has played a full career in Warri. Like, he's a club legend.
It's your thought.
After playing that full career, he now will go and start another career at all. So he just split his career into 2. This is Nigeria version, abroad version.
Did you hear him? Just 6 seasons.
Yeah, I'm serious. So I'm going to Peter Etebo. He played 29 games for Galatasaray between 2020 and 2021. There's at least one other name.
Brownie Day.
No, Brownie Day. Okay, let me give more clues. A winger. What clue can I own? You know, do anything for Nigeria. A winger that has nice hair, have funny hair, whatever. He used to barb Dallas, dye it white.
A winger.
Left winger.
Dye it white. Okay.
And in fact, according to statistics here, is the most successful Nigerian to play for Galatasaray. Wow. 71 games, 22 goals for them. The most amount of games and most amount of goals anybody has.
It's recent.
He played for Galatasaray from 2018 to 2019.
And the guy is there white.
Yes.
Went on to play for other clubs like Everton, Monaco. I've basically told you the person.
Yes. Why is he eluding me?
Everton, Monaco. Nigerian that played for Everton.
Yeah, check that.
Don't worry. Let me just put
Who's also amazing?
It's Henry Onyekuru.
Oh! That's actually true though.
Really, yeah.
Does it dye his hair white?
Yeah, he does.
White.
He does, yeah.
Anyway, so those are the 2 that I know that you can get. It's like that you not able to get. The other 3, there's no way. Valentine also signed for Galatasaray directly from Enyimba in 2019. I believe, 2019. He was at the club since 2021, but he only played 1 game for the club. Then there's Jesse Sekidika and Dominic Lofa. So those are the 2 that I said that you can never.
Dominic Iofa.
Is it Iofa?
Yes,
okay.
That's how it's written.
Alright, but you know Sabi saying play for that.
I know, but I know that he has a son that played in Norwich City at the time. What year was it, Dominic?
Yeah, 1991.
Of course, he has a son that played in Norwich City.
Just ball knowledge is
balling.
But he doesn't know.
He just doesn't get proper trivia. His record remains as the only person here that has never answered
one feeling he doesn't like exam.
One trivia question correct.
John don't like exam.
I say we graduate with 2 from.
He still don't like exam.
Where you go to school?
University
Anyway, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully delivered you another fantastic episode
Clap it up.
Sport vibe. We brought an equal proportion of sport and vibe as we always do. And I know that you will miss
before
us.
You didn't comment on this guy's footwear.
I will not. I know that you will miss us because I too will miss you. Thank you very much to the lovers, to the haters,
Just make
to
sure
those that are being loved, to those that are being hated on. You.
Can you say something about your footwear?
I will not. I'm saying as you see that I'm saying they wait for
That comment.
No,
They wait for comment.
You know when you go to the pageant, you don't start like this. You will say you want now.
I see as the cross line says, the camera no catch your leg. Raise the camera up, you no catch your leg.
I'm always crossing my leg.
Now, before you dress like Abuja boys.
Abuja senator.
Hey.
Anyway, can you do this?
Leave it until it becomes true.
Can you do this?
Mr.
John
D.
Ogetunde, Solomon Edibre, Sule Young. Shout out to our producers, Babash Media.
Abasi.
And
Because
our
of-
brother, Aniebe.
Anieri.
Aniebe.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you, most importantly you. Thank you for working with us.
Abasi.
It's been another fun 60 minutes there. About we had fun bringing you the best in the world of sports in a light-hearted manner. Until we see you next week. Hopefully by then we have good news from a Nigerian perspective, but most likely not, to be honest, because this country is not that way. But yeah, if you miss us, just go back on episode 23. So go back the previous 22 episodes. So check that out and let us know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Bye bye.